I always say that like if I knew then if I knew then what I know now, God, like it's crazy. Like all the things you wish you could have done that you actually could have done. It's like, it's like I played It's Academic in high school, 1996 GDS. It's Academic Champions. It was cool. Um, but it's funny. It's like that was like one achievement, and you look at that and you're like, that was the crowning achievement of everything I did in like my high school years. And then I'm like, wow. Well, if I really did everything I wanted to do, I would have started a band. I would have like become active in the hardcore community. Like I would have become a big believer in food, not bombs, and done all this radical stuff that I saw all of my friends do, and I'm like, boy, I wish I, or maybe I could. And it's crazy now because now I'm like 35, and people have no idea that I'm 35 because they're like, well, you have so much energy. It's like, well, I have 20 years of life that I didn't live. Like, come on now. Why wouldn't you? Like, if you could, like it's 20 years of my life. So it's like then versus now. It's like I look at those roads that I went down, and you look at the roads you go down. It's important, like I think, to tell kids that, like, think about that road, and don't go down that road, whatever that road is. And everybody knows what that road is. I'll tell you, already had a road. You like looked at in your life. And you're like, I could go down this road, and I would be very unhappy. I would be incredibly unhappy. Like, oh, like, like for me, like my mom wanted me to like, stay in the church and, be like a good Catholic boy and marry a good Catholic girl and, have my kids and life and whatever. And I look at that and I'm like, well, that would have been really depressing. God, like, as much as I love my mother, like that would have been really depressing and still fun. Like life, and like, and you also have to be able to tell people that you can't legislate against fun. That like, if you're not having fun in what you're doing, then why are you doing it? And there's so many people that like, when they close themselves in, they lose that spontaneity and that fun and excitement about life that you should always be open to. Because if you can always have that energy around, you can always play in that energy and work with that energy, then it's amazing what can happen. Like that's the thing. It's like if I would have known at 15 what I know now, God, it boggles. Like I'll stop and I'll think about it, and I'm like, my God. It's crazy. And the other thing is what's funny about the internet is that there are no rules on the internet. Like with the station WLVS Radio, our tagline is there's no rules, just standards. And standards are a very individualized thing. Like my standard is I like wearing like Technicolor socks. Your standard is that maybe you like oatmeal in the morning. Like these are things that are your standards. They're not a rule by any stretch because rules are things that everybody has to follow, and that doesn't create and foster creativity. It doesn't. It hinders it. And that's not good. It's not. We're intrinsically creative people.